So we have an official release date for Sonic the Hedgehog 3. We have 2 more Avatar movies coming in addition to the one we're about to get. We also have some timeline information on the new Teen Wolf movie that's coming out that I find kind of interesting. And Friday the 13th producer Roy Lee has teased us that there could be a new movie coming out. That would excite me a lot, but something big has to happen in order for this to work. Thanks so much for clicking on this video. If you're new here, I'm Kevin, and here we talk about all things movies, news, reviews, trailer reactions. If that kind of stuff interests you, consider hitting that subscribe button for me. So let's start out with the Sonic the Hedgehog 3 movie release date. This was information that was dropped directly on the Sonic the Hedgehog movie Twitter page, and James Cameron did say that the release date for Part 3 will be December 20th, 2024. So we've got about a year and a half before the new Sonic the Hedgehog movie comes out, and I'm really excited with this. I have very high hopes for this new movie. I was super impressed with the second. This is one of those franchises where personally, I want to know what your thoughts are on this. I think the sequel was better than the original, and that is very few and far between. Not many movies can pull that off, but I feel this one did. It felt more like the video game than it did the first one. And with Knuckles, I just feel like I liked him more than I did Sonic, which is kind of crazy. But I love the Knuckles character. And now, if you saw the end credits of the second Sonic the Hedgehog movie, which hopefully you did, because if you didn't, I'm about to spoil it for you. We got a teaser of Shadow the Hedgehog, and he's most likely going to be, or should I say is going to be, in the third one. Now that excites me even more. Now I've gotten Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, and Shadow. I mean, I'm really anxious now for this movie. Now what's even more interesting is that Collider was reporting this in one of their articles as well, but in their article they also said that Sonic the Hedgehog 3 will be debuting alongside of the new Avatar movie titled The Seed Bearer. Now, as you know, we are getting a new Avatar movie this summer called The Way of the Water, but there is also 2 more movies in the works that are supposed to come out after that, and as the article just said, the third one is going to be released alongside Sonic the Hedgehog 3. Now, we don't know a whole lot about this movie other than the title, and even that is rumored. It's not 100% confirmed, although some people may say it is. I can't say that myself, but I do know that there are also rumored titles for the following sequels as well, and the one after that is The Tolkien Rider, and the final one that is listed is The Quest for Eywa. I think that's how I pronounce it. E-Y-W-A? Eywa? I'm not sure. You tell me how it's pronounced because I'm not 100% certain. But those are the titles that we have as of right now. When they're going to be released, we don't know. We don't know plots. We don't know casting. We don't know basically anything other than these rumored titles. But again, that could also depend on how well The Way of the Water goes. Maybe these will get released. Maybe they won't. Now, I want to move on from there to the new Teen Wolf movie that's coming out. I don't know about you, I was a big fan of the Teen Wolf series, the one that was on MTV a couple years back. I watched every season, every episode. I've actually watched the whole season twice. What should I say season? The entire series twice, or possibly even 3 times, because even my little girls love that show. So we all watched it together, and I'm super excited for the new movie coming out. Now, what's interesting about the movie is the timeline, because at the end of the series, we all know that everybody kind of split and went their own separate ways. So to get everyone reunited for what's said to be an even bigger evil than ever before gets me really excited. Now, Tyler Posey, who plays Scott McCall, had some pretty interesting things to say in an interview during Comic-Con in San Diego this year. Now, he was asked where Scott McCall has been all this time and what we can expect from him in this upcoming movie, and this is what he had to say. What's so cool about where we find him is that Jeff decided to make it in 2026. That's ahead. We jump ahead. That's where Teen Wolf takes place. So it's 15 years since we last saw Scott. So Scott is 33 years old. He's older than I am now. And what I thought was interesting is that the last time we ever saw Scott as, like, you know, a real human was the pilot episode. This time, when we pick him up, he leaves Beacon Hills. He wants, you know, a fresh start. I think everyone kind of wants to leave their hometown eventually, especially ones that's been so effed up as Beacon Hills. He's got to get out of that environment. He's pretty chill, but, you know, he wants to get out. He wants to experience life outside of that and kind of put the hero hat down for a little bit. But he's also dealing with human emotions and loneliness for the first time in a long time. And he's kind of at that, like, a little bit of a crisis in his life. And that's something we haven't seen. The human side, and he's always been in crisis mode because he's trying to save his town and his friends, but you've never seen him try to save himself. Now, I find that very interesting because 15 years later is where we're picking up. Scott is now 33 years old, and like Tyler was saying, he's supposed to be older than what Tyler actually is now. So if you've seen any of the cast members from Teen Wolf lately, they haven't really aged much. So to say that this is going to pick up 15 years later, where all of the actors and actresses don't really look a lot different than they did supposedly 15 years ago, is going to be a little weird. So there's going to have to be a lot of makeup or something going on to try to age them a little bit, because otherwise it's going to be a real hard sell. You know, all these now 30-some-year-old characters that look like they're 22. But aside from that, I like what he said about the personal crisis that he's going through and how he now has his own issues with being lonely, and now his own life is in crisis and he's got to save himself. So I have to say I'm way more excited for this movie now than I was before. So let's jump into some Friday the 13th news, because I'm super excited about this. I love Jason Voorhees. I love Friday the 13th. There's definitely been some films that were better than others, but I won't hold that against him. But it looks like Roy Lee, who is the producer of Friday the 13th, has kind of teased us a little bit of the possibility of a new movie. Now, I'm sure you're well aware of all the legal issues we've had with the rights to Friday the 13th, with Steve Cunningham and Victor Miller battling over who should get the rights to the Friday the 13th. Now, the way this ended is very weird, to say the least, because both of them have the rights, but different parts. Victor Miller owns the rights to the original Friday the 13th screenplay, but Sean Cunningham owns the rights to the adult Jason Voorhees character, who showed up later in the sequels. I know that's really weird and confusing, but that's how it panned out. So the only way that we're going to get another Friday the 13th film is if both of them team up and come to an agreement to where they will share the rights and the profits and everything involved in between to get another Friday the 13th film. Now, Roy Lee, again, who was the producer, was asked about this, and he said in an interview, and I quote, "That one is something that I would love to talk about. You may be hearing something by this year's end on that front." So that, to me, makes it sound like he knows something that we don't. Like, he knows that there could possibly be another Friday the 13th movie with Sean and Victor coming to some kind of an agreement. If that is true, and we are to get this new movie, I'm super excited. I have no idea what kind of plot they would come up with or setting or how this would work, but I am totally on board. I don't care if the movie turns out to be complete crap. I'm still going to watch it, because I'm a big fan. So I want to know what your thoughts are of the possibility of a new Friday the 13th movie coming out, who knows when, but if it did, would you be interested? Now, I want your thoughts on everything we talked about down below. Make sure you drop a like on the video if you enjoyed the content, which I hope you did. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button on your way out if you haven't already. I'm Kevin, and I'll see you at the concession stands.